Okay, welcome. Today I want to talk about men and suicide. This is a subject I've touched upon quite a few times before in different ways, and this wasn't a subject I was going to talk about today, but as I'll share in a bit, this is very present for me today. So, blessings. Yeah, so a few days ago my wife was just sharing with me that someone in my community, from the town, had killed himself a few weeks ago in lockdown, or certainly a few months ago. And then today I just received the news that one of my uncles on my mother's side had killed himself. And it's just, I guess it really touches me. That, and I guess it touches me because, I was really close to suicide in my teens and in my 20s. And therefore, it touches something quite deep within me when I hear that somebody's committed suicide, especially family. So I just wanted to talk a bit about that, the subject. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking of suicide, you're listening to this and maybe you know someone close to you who's contemplating suicide, just a few reflections really from my own experience. I think lockdown and COVID-19, everything that's happened, has been really challenging for people. And I just, this is my own stuff, my own annoyance, but I feel annoyed at the government. I feel annoyed at, how it's being dealt with. That, we'll just lock people down. And I question how many lives have been saved, really, when you look at it. Like Matt Hancock in the UK, the health secretary, just saying the amount of people who actually die of COVID who are under 70 is minimal. The percentage is really small. So my question is, how many people are dying now because mentally they've really struggled because of being locked down? I mean, it's a basic human need for me to have connection with others. And if you have, they say that it takes a village, a community to bring up a child, and so it is with a human. It's like, so it takes a community to nurture us as humans. And when we're separated from that, we struggle. And I think more and more we've become separated from people. We've become these insular beings and these insular boxes, work in these boxes. And I feel that, it's so important for us to connect again. It's just a basic human need. I feel that's, reading Humankind, the book. And he just talks about it that, we've thrived from being friendly. We've thrived from working together as communities. It's not being the most aggressive. No, we're not the most aggressive. It's because we've worked out how to work together. And therefore this lockdown, with what's been happening, it's like we've been disconnected from people. And therefore, we feel like, we feel alone. And we're not alone. So yeah, I feel sadness today. And the, they say that the percentage of men, you know, I don't know percentage, but under 45s, certainly in the UK, the main source of death is suicide. And I imagine that's throughout the world. My family member was, he was older than that. I don't know the age of the guy who died in my town, but I've heard of many people during this lockdown dying, really struggling. So what to do if you're feeling in this space? It's like, reach out, connect to other people. And if you're feeling okay now, but make that intention to be part of your life, that, oh yeah, I need to reach out to people. Tomorrow I'm going down to a men's camp, and there'll be probably 50 to 100 men in a field, and it'll be just connecting. Doesn't mean it's not without challenges, but it's like having support there, being able just to share. This is what I feel. I feel devastated. I feel hurt, and that's okay to be received with that. So that was the first thing, is reach out for support, not just when you need it, but just having it there, rather than just going, oh, if you're in a good space, reach out as well, but to give. Sometimes we feel we only can reach out when we're not in a good space, and therefore we think, oh, I don't want to reach out again, and therefore we go inside. So it's like, make that a common practice. And this is, I'm talking to as much to myself, making that intention to reach out to friends and go, right, yep, I'm going to do this. That's connecting with others. The other thing is, making friends with your emotions, giving space and time for these uncomfortable feelings, the grief, the pain sometimes that it is to be alive. But we distract ourselves, we watch films, or we do this, we do that. But we need to give space for these feelings, so they can just flow away. So they don't suddenly build up to chronic level, and therefore the only option is to kill ourselves. It's like, no, let's just manage the stream. So every day I'll do my practice, my breath work, and part of that I do coughing, and then I'll cry, and it's very cathartic. It's like moving the body. We carry our trauma, or carry our sadness in our bodies, and it's so important for us to transform and transmute that. So, another thing for me is just the physicality. So I have some form of physical practice every day, whether that's exercise, walking, swimming. And, if you're not feeling good, that really helps. But if you're, at the moment, okay, sometimes I do get a bit depressed, put into place now, when you're feeling good, a practice of exercise. Have that daily routine. So when you start to dip, that momentum, that practice carries you through that time and that space. The next thing is to know that, it's one of the things I used to do in my 20s when I was suicidal. I wrote down a list. When I was feeling better, I'd write down a list of what to do next time I'm feeling suicidal. And I'd pull it out. And it would be like, know that this will pass. Read the book, When Things Fall Apart by Pema Chodron. Go for a walk. Laugh. And I wrote this list down. I still have it somewhere. And then read through it. And that really helped me to get through that time. Yeah, so suicide for me is, very sad. And I mean, for me, my understanding, certainly from a Buddhist perspective, is that I see now that suicide's not an option for me. Why is that? Well, from the Buddhist faith, certainly from the Theravadan tradition, it's like they talk about these different realms. So the heavenly realms, there's 2 heavenly realms, and you've got the hell realm. And basically their understanding is that we go in when we do when we kill ourselves. What we're doing is we're destroying the most important thing, which is ourselves. So we're destroying that, and basically saying that we go into this really horrible space. So the horrible space that we're feeling when we're alive, that changes. But when we die, we kill ourselves in that space, then we perpetuate that. And therefore, for me, it's not an option, because I know that it will change the dark feelings that I sometimes feel. But if I commit suicide, then I carry that feeling with me until I've kind of worked it out. And in the shamanic traditions, they call it the bardos, or the worlds in between worlds. So no, if you're feeling suicidal, it will pass. And if you know someone who's suicidal, it's be there for them in your joy. Be there for them. Don't try and fix them. Just be present, loving. Big open heart for them. Get them creating, walking, But you've got to model that. You've got to model that with your own creativity, by flowing, by walking. We can't fix those people. They have to step up and go, okay, yeah, I'm ready to do what's needed. So yeah, I feel it's very sad. Very sad. And suicide is. As a 14-year-old, one of my friends, mentors, he killed himself, and it devastated me. And I think this is important as well. Sometimes when we take when someone takes their own life, they don't realize how that affects other people around them. For me, it took me years, and I've been connecting to some of my friends from school recently, and some of them are still carrying this 30 years on. Still feeling the effects of that suicide as a 14-year-old. But yeah, when we're in that space and we're stuck under those clouds, we really feel that I can't do this anymore. And yet, keep going, and then some. You can do it, you are doing, you're an amazing being. And in this moment, under these clouds, you can't see the horizon, but it will change. It changed for me. Sometimes I don't feel in a great space, but I know that it will change. So, yeah. So sending out lots of prayers to my Uncle John. May you find healing. May you find love. May you find light. Thank you for all that you've given to me over the years. Yeah. So yeah. Please, men, keep going. Keep going. You are just so worth it. You have so much to give. You might not feel it in this moment, but it will change. It will pass. Yeah. So, and I'm living proof of that it does change. So yeah, love and blessings to you.